Hi there, and thank you for joining me. So today I just want to go through a brief video just showing how Fortinet's dynamic threat mitigation works. So as you can see here, I've got a Linux machine, a Ubuntu machine. It's a VM running on a hypervisor. You can see here it's pinging out to the outside world, and I've got Fortinet's FortiClient installed, and soon I'm going to be downloading some malware from our famous ICAR. Now the client is connecting to the outside world via this FortiGate, and this will be the internet policy here. You can see I've got deep packet inspection, antivirus, and application controlled here. Clearly we need the deep packet inspection because if we're downloading anything which is SSL encrypted, we want to make sure that we can strip off that wrapper and take a look at what's inside that secure container, right? I've also got FortiAnalyser, which we'll be talking about the event handlers. So the FortiAnalyser's got a feature called the indicator of compromise. So it basically it's a series of triggers and rules, all right? So whatever logs it gets, you can tell it to parse those logs, query them against the indicator of compromise database, and if it thinks that there is an IOC, then it can respond back dynamically to the FortiGate closest to the threat and take remedial action, or rather tell the FortiGate to take remedial action, which the FortiGate does via the automation scripts. So here I've got one, and it says, well, what is the trigger? The trigger will be the IOC trigger coming from the FortiAnalyser, and then it says, well, what are the actions? What do I do if I get that? And you can see I've got a whole lot of quarantines here, but I'm also going to tell it to send a quarantine to the Forti client. Now, the reason being is this. Let's say you trigger malware on-prem, right? So you're a malicious user. Maybe you're not even a malicious user. Maybe you're just somebody who's naively gone to downloaded something, gone to a website you shouldn't have, or maybe you should have. Maybe that website's been compromised. It doesn't matter. One way or the other, a threat has got to your, or has tried to come down to your machine. If that user is quarantined on the local network, on the campus network, and then they discover they can't work because of that, and they pick up their laptop and they go to a Starbucks or some other external location, the chances are that they can still carry on whatever behaviors they were doing before. They just VPN into the office, and they could spread the malware via that way. So we need to take care of that. Now the Forti clients are managed by FortiEMS, so this can manage over 200,000 clients, irrespective of where they reside, and it gives you full visibility in terms of every type of client that's out there: Linux, Windows, Mac, it doesn't matter, Android, iOS devices, and so forth. And I can see everything about those devices. I can see what operating system they're running, what their IP addresses, how many interfaces they got, what features are running on them, and I can push features and services to them. Now, the purpose of this video is not to go through FortiClient. I will do another video on that, but just suffice to say, this is the security posture and policy enforcement engine for over 200,000 endpoints. So let's just come out of there and let us go and download something here. So we'll just download ICAR. All right. So the what's going to happen now is that the Forti client is downloading this. You can see there, try to download it because we are running the SSL deep inspection. You can see I'm using the unsigned certificate of the FortiGate. All right, you see verified by FortiGate, and that is doing the deep packet inspection. It's making sure it's looking within that TLS or SSL circuit. And by doing so, it detected this virus. If I come to my logs and I come to my security events, right, so here I've got my antivirus, and I can see, yes, indeed, I detected that. I can see the source IP address. I can see the action was blocked. And if we come back here, and we can see that actually I've lost communication with this device entirely. And the reason being is that it has been locked down, right? So if I come here now, it has been quarantined by the FortiGate. So I was using an external connection to get to that device, and now I can't get to it. So if I come along here and I look at my quarantine monitor, I can see, yes, indeed, it's been quarantined, but also a quarantine has been sent to the Forti client. All right, so if I look here and I refresh this, I come along here to this device. In fact, you can see there, it says it's been quarantined, right? So there's the quarantine device. Let's go back here. Let's look in here, and I can see, yes, indeed, it has been quarantined. All right, so what happens when we quarantine, it doesn't matter how many interfaces are on that device becomes completely locked down. The user cannot use it, which means that it doesn't matter, even if they pick up that laptop and they move to the Starbucks, they go home or whatever, until such time as the administrator unquarantines that device from here, that user is dead in the water, which clearly means that whatever malware was on that machine or whatever behaviors were on that machine is no longer possible. So if I come along here and I unblock that, all right, so I've unblocked the ping. So even though I've unblocked the ping on the firewall, remember that this device is quarantined, and until such time as I unquarantine it using FortiClient, as I said, it's dead in the water. So that was a very brief video. Hopefully it was useful, and clearly if you would like any more information on this, then please reach out to your respective Fortinet SE.